All right, everybody, welcome back. Sam is still here. I am still here. My name is Professor Milla, Mandy Milla. Whatever. Milla, I will answer. Today, what we're going to show you are push-ups. So we're going to show you 3 different ways to do a push-up. So we're going to go from simple to medium to more difficult on a push-up to make sure that you are rocking that push-up form, because anybody, literally anyone, can do a push-up. And then from there, we are going to show you bench press, and we're going to show you chest fly. And then that's it. That's all we have for you today. So we're going to be like crushing full body stuff. Always going to be doing what?
Bracing the core.
Bracing the core. So we're going to start with push-up first, and we're going to show you first the most, we're going to start easy, medium, hard. So notice that Sam here is in a quadruped position, so her knees are under her hips, her hands are down in line with her chest and wider than her shoulders. And then she's just going to go down into a push-up right here. So what this does is it takes all the additional weight of your full body off of the push-up. And then if this is too difficult for you to go all the way down, always adjust range of motion. So range of motion is going to help you be able to develop strength in one space, and then as you get stronger, you can make greater and greater range of motion. Okay, so there's that one. Now she's going to lay, do you want to show from the front? Yeah, we'll show from the front really quick. So just here you can get a better idea of where her hand placement is and how wide her hands are. The wider the hands are, the greater the base of control and support, because now this is being driven through the hands and not the feet. So this is going to give her good center, good base of support, good control of the push-up position. Okay, so now you can turn sideways. So that hand position in these particular push-ups that we're going to show you today is going to stay the same, wider than the chest. And so here we're going to start, and this is the way I like to recommend when we're going to go into the medium range, or what we typically call a modified push-up, and then into our basic push-up. So I like to recommend that people start laying down. If you see that Sam's hands are down by her chest and her elbows are coming out nice and wide, she's gone ahead and picked up her feet, because I don't like it when people do their push-ups right on their kneecaps. It's not a good idea. It doesn't feel good to me. So she's going to go ahead and push up. And notice here she's on the meaty part of her knee instead of on her kneecap. So that way it takes the pressure off the kneecaps, but here she's driving a little bit more of her body weight now, so everything from her knees up is going into the push-up. Okay, looks good. Notice her core is braced, everything's nice and tight. Now to show you a full range push-up, I'm gonna jump in because I get excited. I like to show you guys things. So full range push-up, you're gonna start in the same position. So we're down here, I'm laying on the ground, my hands are just wider than my chest. I'm gonna tuck in my toes, but I'm not gonna be on the tippy toe. I wanna tuck under, so I'm on the balls of my feet, and I'm just gonna push, and I wanna make sure that I'm keeping my body in a nice straight line, and I'm not tucking my head or looking forward. I'm looking straight down, and everything stays straight. If I start to notice this or this, that means I need to jump into one of the modified push-up positions. So those are 3 different ways that you can modify push-up, and in all of those, you also get to play with range of motion depending on where your strength is in each of those. So give us a second, we're gonna set up, and then we're gonna move to bench press and chest fly. All right, we're back and we're set up, and Sam is taking a nap. Just kidding. All right, so what we're getting ready to do right now is we're going to show you guys some bench press and chest fly. So we can, if you can see here, we have 2 benches set up. So we're going to show you the side view of bench press, and then we're going to show you the from the head down view of bench press, so that you're seeing it from both angles and you get a good idea of the angles. And then we're going to show you chest fly, and then we're going to show you chest fly. So the big thing that we want to remember when we do bench press is that we're aiming right here for the center of the chest. So Sam's going to bring her hands down, so we don't want it over our face. None of these moves should the weights ever be up in line or over our face. So she's nice and over her chest. She's going to let her arms come down and let her elbows go back out, almost like goalposts, and stop right here at 90 degrees. And then she's going to push right back up and make sure she's pushing up and over the chest. Now, one thing that you can do a little bit different with dumbbells than you can with the bar is you can actually squeeze them together a bit at the top. So you get a slightly different range of motion if you want to squeeze them together at the top of the next one. There we go. And just make sure those elbows don't drop. So sometimes, and this is a really good, so here's a modification when we're doing bench press. If you want to make it a little, if you're having issues with strength when you come down and your elbows are dropping, you can actually do it on the floor because then your elbows can't go past your shoulder. So go ahead and come down. And so the reason we want to stop right here at 90 degrees is if we go past this point, you can go up because I know it's hard to hold on to it. And go ahead and switch over here. But the reason that we want to stop there is once we go past the shoulder, now we're not using chest muscle anymore. We're starting to pull on ligaments and tendons, and we don't want to do that because that's not what we're working. So same idea, she's just going to show you the bench press here from the top so you can see the angle in her arms. She comes down into that goal post right there. Boom. Perfect. Awesome. Love it. All right, so now we're going to do, and just to make that a little bit more difficult, you can do the pulse that we've talked about before. So when you come down into the move, you can go halfway up, back down, and all the way back up. So that's a way to modify that. Now we're going to do chest fly. If you look where Sam's hands are, move them down just a smidge, Sam. There. They're over her chest. She's going to open up her arms. Again, making sure her elbow doesn't go past her shoulder. And then she's going to squeeze back up, making sure she stays over her chest. We don't want the weights to come in front of our face. We want the weights to stay over our chest because that's the exercise. So what we're trying to do is do that chest fly. Her core is braced, her abs are braced, her back and her glutes, even though she's laying down right now, are braced because we want to make sure we're controlling the weight through the whole move. This is a longer lever, so it's much harder. So you'll notice she went down in weight because we're working the chest in a very different way. Like I said, from a much longer lever. So we want to make sure that we have weights that we can control. All right, do you want to show us from the top here, Sam? Take it from the top. All right, so good job. So she self-corrected there, made sure her head was on the bench. So as she opens up, you see there she's got the slight bend in her elbows. She's driving and pulling, like letting her chest expand and pull out as she goes down, squeezing the chest together as she comes up and not letting those elbows drop below the shoulder. Excellent work. All right, you can stop there, Sam. And so similar to some of the other modifications that we've showed you before to make it easier, you can remove weight, you can go lighter weight, and you can adjust range of motion. One other point I want to make on this is when you are bench pressing, like we talked about being on the floor so that your elbows don't go past your shoulders, when you're doing it on a bench, if you're short like me, not like Sam, Sam's much taller than me. If you're short like me, I highly recommend, and I'll just show you so that you can get an idea of what I mean, so that you're not arching your back. This is one thing I actually just realized I forgot to say. So that you're not arching your back, you can put and obviously a bench in a gym is a little bit longer than this. Put your feet up on the bench. That's going to help you maintain a neutral spine so you're not doing this, trying to keep your feet on the floor. And even sometimes I recommend that for people that are taller because I want to make sure that you're keeping a neutral spine. So one of the things that a lot of people do is they either like to really push their back into the bench to keep their back flat, or they're pushing so much weight that they're pushing with their feet off the ground and their back rounds up. Neither of these are great ideas. What we want is we want the spine to stay neutral while we're in that position. So wherever the natural curve is in your spine, we don't want to fight that. So brace your core, so brace those muscles in your abs and brace these muscles back here in your back, and that will keep your spine with its natural neutral curve, and you're not trying to force it into the bench or arch it up. I think that's it. I think we're good, sir. Longest one yet. Nice. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.